plans?
Nothing more than I'm just going to have another suitcase out on the road, you know, and otherwise it's just, you know, someone else to hang out with. Another member of the band, one more laminate.
Yeah. And anyway, it's an experience for the man to become a father, and I mean, your responsibility. In the beginning, it's a quick one, but later on, it's another duty. Have you thought about those things during these last months?
Not really, no. I mean, my time is really taken up by my records and the touring and what have you, but the excitement is most definitely there.
Yeah. Have you been in a so-called labor course, you know, exercise with your wife? No?
No.
Not all that. You mentioned that you will have another back on a tour, which means that it's going to be one of those tour babies in the future. Hopefully.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, the great luxury that we have is that we can bring friends out anytime, or family, or, you know, whatever. It's a great luxury to have at this point in our careers, yeah.
Yeah. And knowing you're Italian, is that right?
Sure.
Yeah. Ancestors, so the family must mean for you.
La famiglia.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Family, I think, is what everybody, if they don't, you know, hold it as their most important treasure, they could or should. And I think that family is very important, sure.
Where did those Bon Jovis once came from in Italian side, European side?
Sicily.
Ah.
In a little town called Sicily.
So it's like the great old Blue Eyes himself, Sicilian as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Me and Frank, two
Oh, yeah.
Jersey guys, transported by the Sicilian bloodlines, yeah.
Does it have a sort of some sort of mental thing also, thinking your background as a musician, because there are so plenty of good Italian ancestor having musicians?
You know, I don't know. Yeah, it's funny because any Sunday afternoon you hear any Italian guy singing in the kitchen, you know, stirring up the pot. But I've always loved singing since I was a young boy, so it was something that I think was just in my veins, yeah.
It's a great American tradition in long lines of great American musicians, singers.
Yeah, I think so. It's, you know, it's just something that happened to me. I think I ended up having to sing because no one else wanted to. And, you know, one thing turned into another, and the thing got to be awful big. You know,
True,
here we are.
true. Do you have any plans for a live album? You haven't done yet.
No, we haven't. You know, we record quite a bit, and then I usually just throw them in a closet, and then one of these years we'll put it together. But right now, I think the focus is there's so much new material constantly that there hasn't really been the need to put it out yet.
You have been quite a lot, like my research as well has phrased this idea, involved in Bon Jovi, writing songs, and how much this band as such, without any lifting of own tail, is based on your creativity, or?
Yeah, I'm the main songwriter, you know. I mean, and being the front man in the band, a lot of it is based on that, and yet it's the band is an integral part of anything that I do, because they've been with me for 10 years. They've believed in what I wanted to do, and each of them fills a very key role in making a team. Because you can have a quarterback, but if you don't have the team around it, I tell you what, it's going to be pretty hard to win the game, you know.
Because usually it creates, in some occasions, some sort of tensions, because, you know, the story of Rolling Stones, etc., well, so much is involved with one guy.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, without Mick, Keith, you know, is not quite right, and without Keith, Mick's not quite right, you know, and they could have had a lot fancier a drummer, but that wasn't what it was all about. There's a real something special about the word band.
True, and you are a real playing band, not just one of those techno bands.
Oh, God
There have been
forbid.
those a lot.
No. This band, this was a group of players, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's why I took this idea of live album as such as well, because if I'm just playing playback.
Oh yeah, no, right.
Yeah.
No, this is a band of players, that's for sure.
You have a lot of rock and roll sound, at least to my opinion, nowadays on your sounds. Is it something which you're going to be more involved with in the future, or how do you see your music developing in the latter
I think
part?
it's going to continue to progress. I mean, one thing I haven't done is re-recorded the Slippery record, the New Jersey record, you know, anything. We always moved it just a little bit further than the previous one. I don't want to repeat success because we tried to capitalize on what we did before. It's not worth it.
Yeah. You are wearing boots, I'm wearing boots. You are coming from the States, I know the States. So nowadays it's question also the old good country songs, which have progressed in all parts of music over these decades. In some tracks you also have a sort of a slight modern country rock flavor. How do you feel about this coming of Billy Ray Cyrus, and you know, there's a great variety of musicians nowadays on board?
You know, I think there's enough room for anybody who's making music, regardless of if it's country, jazz, rock, hip-hop, or whatever you want to call it. I think that that's the great thing about music, is it gives you the opportunity to be so varied. I was in a cab last night, and the driver was a jazz player from wherever I was yesterday, Copenhagen.
Yeah.
You know, and he says, you know, I've been a player for 40 years, and it's great. I think there's room enough for everybody.
True, true. When you write music, which is the first one which comes to your mind? Words or notes, music?
It depends on the song, and it depends on what the song's for, and you know, sometimes things revolve around a riff, but for me, for the most part, it revolves around a chorus or the lyric, and I work backwards.
Yeah. Because if one thinks about this country music, which I based my question in the beginning, that's always telling a story.
Yeah.
You know, if there's one way to definite, say, this is the country song, it has a story. Your songs also have a lot of stories.
Yeah.
How much they are personal, how much you pick them from the...
More and more and more, they're written in the first person. That's probably why I did the bulk of the writing on this album by myself, because I wanted to write in the first person and not fictionalize scenarios like Tommy and Gina in Living on a Prayer. I preferred to bear a little more of my own soul. And in doing so, you know, to co-write those type of songs would be virtually impossible, you know. But again, it varies, you know. I mean, sometimes you want to be in the third person.
Yeah. And sometimes you feel something very much for or in yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes the song also sounds, at least for the audience, it sounds like a confession. You are
That's
Italian,
right.
you know what it means.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know,
Yeah.
Bed of Roses was something like that. It was a risk to write a song and to take the shot lyrically that was going to put so much of your heart on your sleeve, because, you know, what if you said something in a lyric that absolutely turned off millions of people and then never wanted to listen to you again because you were that honest? You know, you take a chance doing that.
Yeah, you have this Hank Williams syndrome by saying some blonde gave me nightmares, and I think that's she's still in my bed.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a big risk for
Yeah.
a married man, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Honesty is, you know, it's dangerous.
yeah. Think about after one decade of pretty good success and also a lot of work before that, what was the thing which made you big? Have you ever think about that formula? Or was it just
no,
like-
because I'll tell you what, if it was a formula, I'd give it to your cameraman there, and I wouldn't have to work so hard.
Oh, yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I
thanks.
mean? I'd just bottle it and sell it and be like Paul Newman's popcorn, you know?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Jon Bon Jovi's success formula. You can have this $29.95, you know? Give me your MasterCard or Visa. No, to me, it's been about making music that you're happy to go out and sing about night after night, and then going to the people and singing it. And if you want to use country as an example, I'll tell you what, that's how those guys have made a living for the last 60, 70 years, is they went out to the people and they sang it. Country guys don't have to have an album to tour. They tour continuously.
Yeah.
And that's very important, getting out there and meeting those people. You know, I've been to Helsinki probably 8 or 10 times over 10 years, you know? I wouldn't doubt it that I've been here at least 7 times, you know, if not up to 10. It's a long way from New Jersey, you know?
Yeah.
But we come here, and I'd rather speak to you than to send you an interview from New York to put on the show.
I appreciate that. And also it has, well, yeah, like I mentioned, the 70s years of great American Italian music. it's from enjoying the singing as much as to make audience happy. Both
Yes,
ways.
without a doubt.
Yeah, both ways. Videos have been becoming a very important part of music marketing. How do you view the video business? I'm just thinking about another Italian entertainer, Madonna or whatever.
Videos are an interesting medium. They can be wonderful. If I didn't get the opportunity to come to Finland ever, so that people could see what I look like, who I am, what I want to make this film about. The downside of it is that anyone who's a musician isn't necessarily an actor or a filmmaker, and it leaves you very vulnerable. And you might hire a director who depicts your song in a way that has nothing to do with it. And again, you might get shot for that. You know, you might really kill your career because you made a video like Runaway like we did 10 years ago. You know,
Yeah.
you see those things and you go, oh, God. And they're painful.
Yeah, it goes sort of out of your hands sometimes.
It can.
Yeah.
It most definitely can.
What's your favorite Bon Jovi song, if there's any?
That's hard to pick one. You know, I mean, I think my top 5 are, you know, things like Living on a Prayer, Wanted, Bed of Roses, or Dry County. You know, I could pull those kind of things. But I don't think I can have just one.
That might also depending on your own, everyone's mood, I mean.
And it depends on
Yeah.
the mood, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if any 5 of us in the band would pick the same 5 songs.
True, true. Just for final, a couple of things still about this background when we spoke about the great Italian musicians and songwriters and performers. Did you have, when you grew up, somebody you looked very much sort of upon to?
I think heroes are a good thing to have because you can look up to them.
Mm.
You got to understand that being in that position, that they're only human, and so of course, you know, you can't live and die and breathe by what they say or do or act or look like. But I don't know that I had just one. I've had a lot, and different people for different reasons. You know, some were musicians, some were people I knew when I was a kid. Some, you know, had nothing at all to do with the music business. Some were, you know, just regular folks. So I think everybody can have someone to look up to. It's not a bad place to be.
Let me put my last question. We started about you gonna be a daddy very soon, luckily, and so forth. Have you thought about the situation when there comes a time when you have to teach him or her a prayer? What will be in his or hers evening prayer? I have read that you do believe in God.
Sure. Dear Jesus, help people to buy more records so Daddy can buy. No. I don't.
A little bit too selfish. No.
I didn't think about anything like that. I think that I'll explain it in a way that, geez, I don't know. Probably to give him the opportunity to make up his own mind about what God is and where God is and how he listens to those prayers, and then to try to teach him to be a good person and a fair person, and in doing so, he'll know what to say thank you for and to watch out for, and to you know, to go to sleep at night thinking. But I don't know. I'll answer that question in a couple of years.
Hopefully we can meet then and discuss about this matter
Right.
as well, and all the best for you in the future and on tonight. By the way, before we just finish, which band is your warm-up band today?
Our producer, a guy named Bob Rock, who engineered the Slippery and New Jersey albums and produced Keep the Faith, has a band that's on EMI called Rockhead. And we told him that when we went out on the road, being that we didn't need a support act to help sell any tickets, that we'd take them. And he said, yeah, but he always thought in the back of his mind, he's full of it, he'll never take me. But here he is, our producer, Bob Rock, is out with the whole tour.
Yeah. Did you work as a warm-up band, Bon Jovi?
Oh, God, yeah, sure, for everyone and anyone who would take us. Everyone from Kiss to Judas Priest to 38 Special to, oh man, I don't know. You name it, we played.